What's up, guys? I'm back with another review, and this time's on the Air Jordan 1 Chicago that has been hyped up so much that I almost don't even want the shoe. I almost don't even want it. Like when I got it and I got home, I almost did not want it in my house. And I will tell you the story of why I almost did not. I still do not kind of want this shoe in my house. So, backstory. This is the Air Jordan 1 Chicago. It's the Air Jordan 1 model. This is the first Air Jordan signature shoe that Jordan actually wore on court. And it is, well, let me see, the fourth time that it has been retroed. Well, that it has been released. It has been retroed 3 times. So it was originally released in 1985. Then it was released in 1994, I believe. And then it was released in 2013, but that one had Jordan sign right here, and once again it's being released in 2015. So that's 4 releases. So before Jordan actually wore this shoe, he actually wore this specific colorway, but it was the Airships, and it was and that shoe has never been retroed. If you look at this shoe, it is not laced up. And that is primarily because back then, in keeping it with OG form, a lot of shoes that Nike released did not come laced up. The purpose of that was to allow the buyer to lace up their own shoes. And I actually love that. I wish Nike would go back to not lacing up all of their shoes all the way up. Like specifically, like when Nike SB first released, their shoes did not come laced up all the way. This is a pink box Nike SB. This is the Nike SB Boca. It was released in 2005. And if you look at the laces, they're not laced up properly all the way. And this is to allow the person who's buying this shoe the opportunity to lace up their own shoes. And I love it. I don't know. It's just something special about it. Now, to go back to this shoe, it is a primarily white, black, and red shoe for the Chicago colorway. And it's very simple, just a Jordan 1. The only difference between this one and the 2013 release is that this one has Nike Air. And in all honesty, the quality of the leather on this shoe is much better than the 2013 release. And actually really nice leather. And I wish Nike would have flooded the market with this shoe, because there's really high demand for this shoe right now, and Nike did not supply enough, and the prices have skyrocketed. They come with replacement laces, and one is white and one is red. I think when I lace these up, I'm gonna wear them with the red laces, and no, with the white laces. I like the white laces more. I don't like the black, but when Jordan wore these on court, he always wore them with the black laces. Now, a little story about how I got this shoe is that I knew this shoe was releasing and I knew I wanted it. And Nike, so I knew I wanted to go buy it in the store. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, I don't have to go to work. So I will wake up around 5 o'clock that morning, get to the store around 6 o'clock, line up for the shoe. And I live in New York City, so we have a Flight 23, and Flight 23 gets a ton of these shoes. So I'm like, okay, I should be one of the last people to get there, but I should be fine. So I'm sleeping and I wake up around midnight, and I see a tweet alert, and it says that this shoe would not be releasing on Nike store. And I knew that was a problem because I had already sensed that the hype for this shoe was building. Like it was building out of nowhere. Like people were talking about it and everybody wanted it. I even seen it on ESPN, Sport Nation, that these shoes were releasing. And I'm like, what the hell? When ESPN starts talking about a shoe, you know it's a problem. So I get up around midnight. I shower. I get out there around, I think I got there around 3:30 in the morning, and there's already 200 people out there. And it was crazy. Like, I had to take off the shoe to show you, but like, oh, by the way, here's the receipt. Uh, so the shoes retailed for $160. After tax, they came up to $174.20. Now, the reason I'm taking off the shoes is because I have to show you. Like in New York, it's illegal to line up. To gather is illegal without a permit. On top of it, if you gather and you block the entrance of other businesses, they're gonna shut it down. The police will shut it down instantly. So what was done the night before was that tickets were given out. But if you go on footlocker.com, it says that it was first come, first served. That's why I felt that I could show up in the morning and get the shoes without no problem. The problem was everybody felt that way too. And people had showed up from the day before. And Foot Locker was forced to give out armbands, basically tickets. And they said that they had more shoes, but everybody else would have to line up. So in order to not block anybody's business, they put out these banisters, and which were basically cages, like big cages. Think about this box as a cage. And it was like 6 banisters, and in each banister, and the banisters were closed, and in each one there were like maybe 40 people. And I'm like, what? I have to go stand in a banister to get online? And they were like, yeah, because everybody who was in the banister already has tickets from the day before. But then they started setting up more banisters for people who didn't have tickets. So I ended up on one of the banisters without tickets. So eventually the store opens, and the people from the banisters that had tickets start going into the store buying their shoes. And we're noticing that they're telling us, okay, well, there should be enough shoes for everybody in this banister, and that's the one that we were in. So now, when we went into the banister, the guy told us it doesn't matter what order you're in the banister, we're going to pick out who we want. So basically everybody's in these banister, and we're picking out who they want to go in the store depending on who they feel is more courteous, which is crazy. So I'm standing, like, let's say this is the banister and this is the front of it. Everybody feels that when they start, they're gonna start from the front. And they're gonna start picking people from the front. And I'm standing around here, and for some reason, since everybody felt like they're gonna start picking people from the front, like the people that was in the back started moving through the front. So what you ended up having was a banister that was full of people, but everybody was squished to the front, and there was so much room in the back. There was nobody back here, and everybody was there to the front. So we were in there like sardines, and I'm like, yo, stand the fuck back. Stand back. I can't take this. Like, yo, there's no reason why y'all all squished up in the front. So, boom, everybody who was in the other banisters and they got their tickets and they got their shoes, now it's time for us to start going in. And that is when the madness broke out. People started hopping into the banisters, saying that they were there first. The security guards were randomly picking people out, saying that, yeah, I think this guy was here first, when they really weren't there first. The resellers that were coming out from the store were jumping back into the banister. I needed to go take a piss. I couldn't even take a piss. There was a Starbucks across the street. It was madness, straight madness. And and eventually they picked people, and I noticed they weren't picking me. And I'm like, yo, I was here before everybody else. I've been here since 3:30 in the morning, and y'all not gonna pick me? And that's when I just completely exploded. I walked up to the guy, and I don't mean to be rude, guys. I said, y'all motherfuckers not gonna do this shit to me. I've been here the whole motherfucking night, and y'all motherfuckers picking these resellers that just gonna resell the shoes to go back in the store. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, I literally saw this. I wish I would have took a picture. I saw a man with no legs. God bless his soul. He has no legs. Get online to buy a size 14 in these shoes. And he was on a wheelchair. Why is he buying these shits if he's on a wheelchair with a size 14? He's like He was like 3 feet tall on a wheelchair. If he had legs, he probably wore a size 6, but he's buying a fucking size 14. That made no sense to me. And I'm like, yo, why you letting him online? He just got here. He was like, yo, he don't got no legs, man. He's on a wheelchair. Let's be kind. And I'm like, yo, he's just going to resell the shoes. So when people in wheelchairs start reselling shoes, I knew it was a problem. So I explode. I tell him, you motherfuckers not going to do this shit to me. So eventually, like, I'm a pretty big guy, and I guess they got scared, so they let me in the store. I buy my pair, and I was one of the last people to go in, and they actually had my size. And I got home. I didn't come home. I got on the train. I went and picked up the pinnacles that I had on reserve, and then I got home. And when I got home, I looked at this shoe and felt ashamed of myself. Ashamed because I would say it, and I'd say it as a lesson learned. I felt like I was out there acting like a uneducated hood nigga. And I say that in pure shame. I felt that these shoes brought out something in me that nothing materialistic should bring that kind of animosity inside and out from inside of me. So when I look at these shoes, I almost don't want them. I think I'm gonna put them in the closet and put them furthest down in my closet as possible. So maybe in a couple of years when I pull them out, I could forget what I had to go through to get these shoes built. Never again. I would never again and act this way over a pair of shoes. I feel like I'm way too well educated to be acting this way over shoes. So I get home and I see the prices that these things are going for, and it is a shame. I really do wish that Nike would have just flooded the market with these shoes and everybody would have been able to get these shoes. But it's not the case. But there's supposed to be another release in 3 months, so let's see. So guys, if you guys enjoyed my long story, and if you guys didn't get annoyed, please subscribe and please hit the like button. Please subscribe and hit the like button. And if it's possible, leave a comment. I will reply. Now have a nice day. Thank you.